We'd like to start by saying good morning and welcome to the first session of our Community Pulse series. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Tom Pura and I look after communications and public relations for the Grande Prairie District Chamber of Commerce. We acknowledge the homeland of the many diverse First Nations and Métis people whose ancestors have walked this land since time immemorial. We are grateful to work, live, and learn on the traditional territory of Treaty 8. This session is being recorded, so if you'd like to remain incognito, you can leave your camera off, and there will be time for questions at the end of this session. But if something comes to mind, you can type it in the chat box or raise your virtual hand, and we'll try to accommodate you as soon as possible. The Grande Prairie area has a robust and diverse economy. The Community Pulse series is designed to provide updates and insights from a variety of the industries, sectors, and organizations that make up the fabric of our unique and incredible community. And we'll be sharing valuable information about our region and the people who make it special over the next 5 weeks here in June, and then resuming in September. And partnering with the Chamber provides a great value in helping members to bring topical information and insightful presentations to the Grande Prairie business community. We have a variety of partnership opportunities available, and you can contact Cindy Simigan, who's on today's call for more information by email, or you can call our office. We, of course, would like to thank our presenting partners, the City of Grande Prairie, the County of Grande Prairie, and Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network, as well as our supporting partners, Chambers Plan, represented by local broker Hub International, Community Futures Grande Prairie and Region, Get in the Loop Grande Prairie, and the Municipal District of Greenview. Today, we are highlighting one of our presenting partners, the City of Grande Prairie. And here is a short video highlighting their role in our community. Looking forward to those big crowds once again. We now would like to introduce our first presenter this morning. Ken Cobley has been president and CEO of the Alberta Chambers of Commerce since February 2005. Over 15 years of speaking for the Chambers of Commerce Federation, which represents more than 25,000 businesses in Alberta, Ken has developed the ACC's profile as a strong, consistent voice for Alberta business. Provincial, national, and international media regularly turn to the ACC for comment on business-related issues. Ken will be highlighting current advocacy efforts on behalf of business, as well as details from a recent survey on skills, training, and labor market needs. Please welcome our friend Ken Cobley.
Well, thanks, Tom, and thanks everybody for the invitation to be here. I know that in the last 17 years, we've had the pleasure of hosting or being hosted by the Grande Prairie Chamber for our annual general meeting, and sure looking forward to the next time that we can come up to Grande Prairie and meet in person with everyone. So I'm very pleased to be sharing a presentation on the pulse of business and chambers in Alberta as part of the Grande Prairie and District Chamber of Commerce's Community Pulse Series. Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you to Tanya and the Grande Prairie team for having me here today. Again, by way of introduction, the Alberta Chambers is a network of 122 community chambers in the province, serving over 24,000 businesses operators, and we're the largest business association by membership in the province. 95% of chamber members are small and medium-sized enterprises, and our network of chambers are their voice and the voice of business in Alberta. The pandemic has obviously brought disruption of all kinds into the business environment. Those disruptions not only impact chamber members, they impact chambers themselves. We've been working hard to rethink and retool how chambers can better serve their members in a disrupted Alberta economy and a business environment that is increasingly being disrupted by technology. A number of major initiatives we've been building over the past couple of years are really starting to accelerate. And today, I'm going to share how these initiatives are helping us better understand and articulate the priorities of business leaders across the province in regions and local communities, how these are helping businesses thrive by accessing the talent they need to compete, and providing new opportunities for commerce, enabling each and every chamber member to tap into the collective potential of the chambers, putting the entire capability of our network at their disposal to help their business grow. Again, I thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to sharing these initiatives and how you can get involved to help your business succeed. Next slide, please. The first initiative I'd like to share is Alberta Perspectives, the ACC Network's market research program. This program is driven by business insight through business leaders like you, contributing their voice and perspectives on priorities for their businesses regarding strategic issues impacting the business environment in Alberta. Businesses contribute through joining the Alberta Perspectives Insight community. And if you haven't joined already, I'd strongly encourage you to do so. It takes only a minute to join. You can sign up right now by scanning the QR code here on the presentation with your phone, as if you're going to be taking a picture, and just simply complete the sign-up process. I've been at the helm of the Alberta Chambers for nearly 17 years, and I can tell you this is the most valuable and effective tool at communicating your priorities to government I've ever seen in my time representing business. It's one thing to hear, anecdotal stories, but it's way more powerful for the media as well as the politicians to be able to give them the data that backs up those stories, the data that basically informs how we advocate. It also can help out politicians when they're making decisions, when they know what the thoughts of Alberta business and individuals are. Through the Alberta Perspectives community, we send out hot button issue surveys. Most take 1 minute to complete to get the pulse of business on emerging issues. We utilize that a lot during this COVID pandemic, especially when the announcements were being made by government, both federal and provincial, and then when re-announcements were being made, and then rejigging of programs. We in turn then take these real-time insights and communicate those off to government. And over the past year, these insights have been extremely effective to inform government COVID-19 reliefs, as I said, because government trusts the data gathered by chambers. Next slide, please. So what's the pulse of Alberta business? This data, captured from our annual benchmark survey on skills and the labor market survey in March show that over the past year, even while remaining in a pandemic, there has been an increase of 11 points to 53% and a 17-point increase since July of 2020 of businesses now reporting they feel positive about the long-term future of Alberta. This is good news as the economy reopens. Optimism breeds investment, in my opinion. And I think what we're seeing, again, is we are seeing some green shoots coming out of where we've been over the past 15 months. And indeed, over the last number of years, we went into this pandemic as a provincial economy substantially more weak than other provinces did. Even better news, businesses in the Northwest region are among the most positive in the province, while unfortunately, business confidence in the Mountain Parks regions continues to remain as low as in 2020, likely as they continue to struggle from impacts of travel restrictions on their primary sector, tourism. Certainly, we're looking forward with great optimism now that the government has given a clear plan to reopening. And I would dare say that we'll see the first reopening as planned on the 10th of June, and then full removal of restrictions in early July. Through Alberta Perspectives, we're able to get granular data down to the postal code across business and respondent demographics. As just an example of the accuracy of this research, we're able to determine with high statistical validity that it's males' confidence which has made the most gains the past year, increasing from 42% in March of 2020 to 57% in March of 2021. Next slide, please. The data on this slide shows the top people competencies businesses are looking to hire at any level of the organization. We can see that there's been an increased demand for skills that likely have risen in prominence through the need of operators to respond and adapt to impacts of COVID-19 on operations. Not surprisingly, we can see a jump of 9 points in the demand for adaptability and resiliency among workers. But very interesting, it's women who are leading the demand for these skills at 51%, with an increase of 15% over the past year versus 39% and a gain of only 3% amongst men. Next slide, please. Overall, among all businesses, 4 in 10 or 40% anticipate that skill shortages will have a significant or moderate impact on their ability to thrive over the next year. Only a slight softening compared to a year ago before the pandemic. Among businesses that already find it difficult to hire people with the entry or mid-level skills they need, the largest skill shortages over the next 3 years are expected for industry-specific technical skills, with 4 in 10 or 38% of businesses expecting shortages, an increase of 10 points compared to a year ago, much of which is driven by demand in the Northwest. So I imagine Grande Prairie Regional College's transition to a polytechnic is welcome news to operators in the region. Next slide, please. Now, a little more on the Alberta Perspectives Insight community and what we're doing to grow this initiative in collaboration with chambers across Canada. Our Alberta Perspectives Insight community launched last July, and we have grown to nearly 900 influencers in just a year, a good indicator of the value operators see in participating in the community. Next slide, please. Together with our sister provincial chambers, we're using the same platform to grow insight communities across the nation, driving policy change and business outcomes through data that can be compared and contrasted by community, business type, or size and demographic in all regions of the country. Again, if you haven't already joined the Alberta Perspectives community, I invite you to do so. It's a powerful program, and by participating, you have first access to the insights we gather, helping you stay on top of the pulse of business in your community, region, and sector. Next slide, please. And this brings me to our second initiative I'm sharing today, the ACC's Business Apprenticeship Program. The goal of this program is to cultivate in-demand skills and develop future business leaders by connecting the best and brightest post-secondary students to the business community across the Chamber network and indeed across the province. We are promoting this program through a new provincial talent development task force formed in partnership between the ACC and the Council of Post-Secondary Presidents of Alberta. Co-chaired by ACC's past chair, Shauna Feth, and Dr. David Ross, President and CEO of SAIT, and longtime Chamber member and volunteer himself. The vision for the task force is to position Alberta as the leading North American jurisdiction in the collection and utilization of the most accurate labor market information possible to ensure an alignment between post-secondary programming and the current and future talent requirements of the Alberta business community. The task force is comprised of chambers, post-secondary, and funders, and we're very pleased that Tanya Oliver is one of the 3 community chamber representatives on the task force. Next slide, please. The Business Apprenticeship Program, as many of you may assume from the title, is a hands-on learning program or work-integrated learning program that bridges the gap between post-secondary institutions and the business community by supporting students to access quality learning opportunities, working on real business problems in classrooms and out in the field as placements with operators. As you can see by the Alberta Perspectives data up in the left corner of the slide, 70% of operators are willing to work with post-secondaries to source the talent they need, and 75% are willing to work with chambers to do the same. Now, this is a very important point because in a lot of communities, I mean, Grande Prairie has, I guess, the luxury of having a post-secondary right in their community. But when we look at a lot of other communities around Alberta where they don't have a proximity of a post-secondary, it's very difficult for business operators to be able to, in fact, connect with the post-secondary to source that placement of talent. Dozens of students are being engaged through the program across the province, and the operators can not only recruit talented students, they can also access subsidies to bring students into their operations to provide those students high quality, hands-on learning opportunities that help young talent develop the relevant skills businesses need to thrive. These subsidies are 50% subsidies for up to a $10,000 work placement. Sorry, excuse me. And if you'd like more information on how to access these supports, please contact Tanya and she can connect you with us. Next slide, please. The final new initiative I'd like to share with you today is extremely exciting for our network. For the first time, I've been working with chambers. We are putting commerce into our offerings as chambers to business operators on a province-wide basis and a local basis. What you're seeing here is a new logo for our network's chambermarket.ca e-commerce platform, which will be deployed by chambers to launch local online markets, enabling business growth for operators in their community. I'm very pleased to say that this logo and the branding for Chamber Market is being developed by a local Grande Prairie marketing firm, 910 Incorporated. Before I go into this further, I'd like to play a short video highlighting the benefits and opportunities of Chambers Market and these other initiatives shared today to your business. Could we go ahead and roll the video?
Let's ask ourselves an important question. What happens when we consolidate and organize the raw power, the energy, the connections, the influence, the information, the combined resources of 122 individual chambers of commerce onto one network? What could we do? We could provide every chamber with the buying power of the entire network. We could consistently deliver quantifiable value to each and every member each and every day. We could develop more powerful alliances with other organizations to grow collective power and influence. We could mobilize the entire network at once, summoning the power of all at will to aid a business or community in need. When others could not, we could. Or rather, we can. Because of the foresight, desire, and will of the Alberta Chambers of Commerce, we are working together to build the Chamber Channel, the first ever comprehensive value management infrastructure to streamline operations, ease administrative stress, and potentiate more dues and non-dues revenues by organizing and delivering more and powerful value to the businesses we serve. So who are we now? What is it that we are becoming? Well, let me suggest to you today that we are transformed. Transformed from a loose alliance of similarly intentioned organizations with enormous latent potential into a living, breathing organism whose power is and forever will be the most focused expression of the entrepreneurial spirit, the hopes, the wants, and the dreams of the people, of the communities that each and every one of us so devoutly represents. We are not just relevant. We are now the standard. The chamber, your chamber, is now the world's most powerful business resource.
I got to say for everybody, I mean, we've seen a lot of those closed signs on the doors in our businesses. It's going to be really great to see some open signs being turned over, just as in that last video. So I believe the next slide to explain chamber market. So listing on chambermarket.ca provides new opportunities to reach customers through online sales at more competitive price points than other online platforms like Amazon or Shopify. Its cost is only a one-time setup fee of $25 for a Bambora online merchant account to process transactions and a 4.95% transaction fee all in on sales. There are no additional or ongoing costs to be listed on the platform. Even more importantly, chamber members will have the support and resources of the local chamber promoting their business. No other e-commerce provider does that for businesses. Business listed on Chamber Market can load digital marketing campaigns directly onto the platform, which their local chamber can then promote through extensive communication channels, growing awareness of your business in your community. And for businesses which don't sell products, don't worry, your services can be referred through the platform, providing those same opportunities of exposure and new sales. Next slide, please. I know Tanya will elaborate on the launch of Chamber Market in Grande Prairie, but let me tell you, I'm excited to see these markets grow across Alberta and the nation. The Chamber Market platform is being developed by the Alberta Chambers Network and is expected to be implemented by chambers across Canada and in the US. Our first community chamber, St. Albert, launched their market last week, and the timing is significant. Through a partnership with the federal government, chambers across Canada are launching major shop local campaigns to promote local businesses in their communities. In Alberta, the program kicks off in a couple of weeks, with other provinces expected to launch over the summer. Community chambers will be supporting their local businesses with professional campaigns, and as of today, we have over 35 chambers committed to launching Chamber Market as part of their shop local initiatives. And many chambers, it's really important to point this out, that not only is this going to benefit businesses, But through a partnership, we're also going to be engaging students to help businesses get listed on the platform through our business apprenticeship program. So you can see that there is some integration between a business apprenticeship program, chamber market, and the federal shop local program. With that, I'm going to wrap my presentation and let you know that we launched our Alberta Perspectives Provincial Priorities Survey yesterday. So if you've now signed on for Alberta Perspectives, you can participate in your first survey. Heading into municipal elections this fall, priorities set for the province will help inform our network's advocacy on your behalf to improve business conditions in the Grande Prairie region. It's important to note that more than 70% of respondents to our surveys are the senior person in their organization, meaning that when the Alberta Chambers and your local chamber speaks for these insights, they are speaking on behalf of business leadership. I hope you'll join with the Alberta Perspectives community and contribute your insights and get involved with these exciting initiatives to help your business grow. And Tanya, I think I'm right on my 15 to 20 minute time limit. So I'm gonna stop there. I would be happy when we take questions to answer your questions about these initiatives that we're taking. Also, if you've got any burning policy questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those as well.
Thanks, Ken. Always a consummate professional. And thank you to Alberta Chambers Communications Manager Jason Leslie for joining us this morning as well, and running the show in the background for Ken. Appreciate you both being with us, and always appreciate your support for our chamber and our businesses. It's wonderful to have the resources we do at the ACC. So thank you both. And thanks to your whole team, of course. Our next presenters are the Chair of the Board of Directors for the Grande Prairie District Chamber of Commerce, Larry Gibson, and our CEO, Tanya Oliver. Now, please welcome Larry and Tanya, who will update some of our local activities and projects from the home studio on 106th Street.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you here in the virtual room. And like was already mentioned, can't wait till we can have a blend of both this virtual environment and back in person, seeing all of your lovely faces. So Larry and I look forward to providing a little bit of an update as to what we've been doing here at our chamber and what we've got coming up. So since this is our first session for Community Pulse, I did want to share a little bit kind of where the idea came from. And traditionally, every year we have a round table. We used to cram 40 people probably in our Al Robertson boardroom and spend 3 hours together, giving everybody just a few minutes to update on what they've been doing in their industry or their organization. And we decided to blow that open and give everybody a little bit more time and share all of the insight and wonderful things that happen in our community with more than just the people in the room. So this is kind of the inspiration behind this series, and we really appreciate you coming out and our partners and the presenters coming up to help make it a success. So this past 15 months, of course, has been interesting for the chamber, as it has been for our members and our community as a whole. And we are honored to be able to represent almost 1,200 local community businesses in our membership. And through that, we are consistently trying to find ways to connect our businesses with various opportunities, and new opportunities have presented themselves over this past while. And one thing that we learned really quick at the onset in March of 2020 is there was no sense in all of us trying to do things separately. And we quickly struck the Business Resiliency Task Force in partnership with the City of Grande Prairie and the County of Grande Prairie. And for the first few months, we met every day brainstorming and coming up with new programs and ideas and getting information out there. And, it really ties into our values that we have here at the Chamber with the relationships that we have and the excellence and the action that we try to take. And so that was a really good use of our resources, and we were able to get information out. We used to share a newsletter less frequently, and Tom quickly pivoted there, and now weekly we share chamber news. And weekly we also have member marketplace where members are able to input their information, and that's been a really valuable resource. And it does tie into our mission to facilitate and inspire world-class success of our business and community members, and the relationships that we have with the membership and with our partners is super important. So we just wanted to share what our values and the vision and mission, and this was newly revised and released early March 2020. So we just snuck in there. We had a fantastic planning session with our board and staff and facilitators, and yeah, we just snuck in under the wire of COVID. So, Larry, elaborate a little bit on our strategic objectives that we came up with?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Tom. Thank you to the Alberta Chamber for joining us this morning, and thank you all for joining us, our membership. Appreciate it. Just another way we're trying to get the information out there and keep you involved as we work through this together. It's definitely been some changes throughout this last 15 months, as Tanya alluded to, and we've gone digital. We're trying to keep informed and with our members, so appreciate you coming out today and joining us virtually. As Tanya mentioned, we were very fortunate just before lockdown occurred last year to get our board together and create our strategic objectives that we're going to be working on and focused on for probably, these will be an ongoing item. We'll tweak them as needed throughout, each year we'll review them, make sure they still fit. If they need tweaking, we'll tweak them at that time. But there's really four pillars that we're established on. Financial stability. It's creating that long-term strategy to ensure that the financial stability of the organization is intact. Diversification of revenue streams and some non-dues revenue streams as well that you'll probably hear a little bit more about later here as well. Advocacy, this has been mentioned a couple times already this morning. That's huge on our list. That's a big part of what we do, working with our stakeholders to advocate for our initiatives and strategic initiatives at the municipal, provincial, and federal level. And we're very fortunate in our area that we have those great long-standing relationships with both with all of our municipal, provincial, and federal partners. It really helps us, especially over the last 15 months as we work through this, having that open dialogue and discussions, sometimes formally and quite often, to be honest, informally, just picking up the phone and having those discussions. Economic development. That's a big focus, always has been, and really will be a key focus here as we come out of this and be open for business coming forward. Part of that, you might have saw the announcement on the labor market needs assessment that came out earlier. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then we sit on the committee's local economic development committee as well, and our relationships. Again, I can't emphasize that enough, that our relationships with our partners in the area are key to growing the economy here. And membership, growing and retaining our membership is always a big focus of ours. Try and bring value, make sure we're bringing value to our membership. And we'll just continue to focus on that. And of course, we've had to pivot to some virtual events, but we still are trying to find all those things that bring the value and keep our membership engaged and get them the information they need to be successful. A little bit on the policy and advocacy side. There is some local policies that we developed here this year that were just voted on and ratified to go forward to the provincial government last week at the Alberta Chambers annual general meeting. One was a renewal of the off-highway fuel rebate, so that went forward. Illuminating better protection for roadside workers. Our membership had voiced a concern with us about some safety concerns for workers that were more of a temporary sense on the highways, so we worked with them to develop a policy. Took that forward, and it was passed to go forward. Same with the safer workplace for all vulnerable highway workers. A separate policy, but in the same line of work that was also passed to go forward. Our tailored local P3 approach to affordable housing. This one we did put the policy together here locally. We had presented it to our local municipal government probably 6 months prior, and it was well received at that level. And we thought if it works locally, why wouldn't it work across the province? So developed that policy, and it went forward and was passed at the AGM as well. We also co-sponsored strengthening Alberta's electricity transmission intertie infrastructure. Just to get some, the policy was went forward. It's really around reliability and cost effectiveness for our business membership across the province. So those interties are key to not only bringing in maybe some greener electrical requirements or options for individuals, but really that reliability and price stability going forward is key. So we're hoping that one has some traction and gets some attention at the legislature. Of course, we always want to hear from our membership on how we can help, and we have many different ways of doing that through networking events, conversation with our board of directors or staff. By all means, reach out and talk to us. We do have a form on our website, so if you're on our website and you have an item you would like us to advocate for, please fill out the form or phone or email us. That's always available as well. And I just want to touch base again. Ken had talked about it, the Alberta perspectives. And in that, we do have the ability to put in the postal code, so we do get that local data, and can't emphasize that enough as well. That local data and data in general is key for when we're talking to our officials for advocacy items. I think that covers that one. So on a little bit to our labor market needs assessment. You may have heard about it in the news over the last couple of months. We had stage 1 was completed of the labor market needs assessment. We've identified some gaps and some opportunities that we're going to be working on going forward. Similar to what came out in the Alberta Perspective Survey around that, but this is very local, and we're very happy that we had a partnership with our local municipal governments to put this together as well, and the province of Alberta. It identified a lot of great things that I think we can focus on going forward, and that is going to take us into the stage 2, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. The opportunities are out there, and we've identified them, and we're going to be working on them, as well as Ken had talked about it earlier, the Provincial Talent Development Task Force that Tanya's sitting on, which ties in with our labor market in the area as well. And I don't know if you have anything you want to add on the task force.
Yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity for the province and also for Grande Prairie. I am honored and humbled to be able to sit around that table, and I think it's just such a great group and mixture of representation from around the province, with the ACC, with CAPOA, which is the Council of Post-Secondary Presidents of Alberta. There's a few of our community chambers. We've got some representation from post-secondaries themselves, as well as some industry. And really in Grande Prairie, we have such an incredible opportunity, because with our Chamber of Commerce and GPRC, we have a long-standing history of working together, and this is just a really tangible thing that we can do to just solve the problem of how do we connect post-secondary students with the businesses who need the skills and the talent. And as a Chamber of Commerce, we are that connection. That's what we do. We connect the businesses, we create the opportunities, and it's been a long-standing issue in Grande Prairie, is our businesses to find the proper skilled talent that they need. So with the direction that the province is taking, the chambers, we have positioned ourselves really well with helping to lead this task force. And some of the ideas that we come up with, we can definitely put into action. GPRC is nimble enough that we can work together and do that, and we're just really eager to help solve that problem. So yeah, it'll be really good.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yes. Connecting business and creating opportunity is our slogan. I think that ties in very well. if anyone wants to learn more about the labor market needs assessment, there is an executive summary that's posted on our website that you can access and read more, or reach out to us and we can fill you in a little bit more as well. This is the stage 2 of the labor market needs assessment. We're just waiting on some provincial funding before we take the next steps, but this is where we're starting. I mean, so many of these programs, sometimes you get the study and then you don't know what to do with it. Well, we're moving forward. We're living up to that, one of our values of action, and we're keeping the momentum going. And we're pleased to have GPRC joining in at this point as well. That'll help us focus on the target sectors that came out of the stage 2 here, which one is around renewable energy and clean technologies, forestry, healthcare, upstream and downstream chemical product manufacturing, agriculture and food processing, transportation, logistics, and warehousing. So those are going to be the target sector clusters that are going to be looked at. And the next steps, of course, are the workforce development action plan and the implementation plan. So we look forward to that coming out. Please stay tuned as we have more announcements and more information coming out about that in the near future.
Yeah, I'm really excited actually about the next steps. I mean, we ideally it wouldn't have necessarily been broken into different projects, but it is such a large undertaking with, considerable funding requirements behind it. So that's the reason we had to kind of split it up. So the labor market needs assessment fed into this target sector study, and then that's feeding into the workforce development action plan. And the action plan is the part that I'm the most excited about, because we're going to be able to really dig in with the industries, have that one-on-one stakeholder engagement, hopefully in an actual real room, but probably a combination of a hybrid, some virtual and some in person, and really get tangible takeaways and some material that we can use to then retain talent here, attract more people, attract more industry, and it's just going to be the part of the whole thing that's going to come, it's going to tie it all together. We're going to have some good visuals, we're going to have some really good material to attract people, and like Larry said, we're not going to let it sit on the shelf and collect dust, which is really great. So we don't, nobody likes taking part in something like that. So I wanted to share a little bit about what we've been doing to help our members and the community promote themselves, equip themselves with the tools. And our team in the office here has been working like crazy, learning new things, figuring out new things to serve our membership. And I mean, just a huge kudos to them. We have an amazing team, and none of this would be possible without everybody. So huge shout out to Tom, Leah, Cindy, and Janice. It's just been an incredible shift. We've just all banded together and doing what needs to get done. So we have a few new things that we started. We did launch a new website the same week that everything got shut down. And our website is a really powerful tool for the membership. Not only does it have a robust database in there with lots of information, each individual member has a really customizable directory listing in there, and really helps when you're connected, when a business is connected to a Chamber of Commerce directory, just helps in the Google ranking as a quality search there. Of course, like Larry alluded to, we've got our labor market needs assessment on there. We've got our form to submit for advocacy. So if you haven't checked it out lately, head over there. Tom's been keeping the COVID-19 business resources tab up to date as we go. So it's just lots of really good information on there. We did launch through our work with the Business Resiliency Task Force, and through one of the programs that we partnered with Community Futures with was the Business Voucher Program, which enabled businesses to access one-on-one advice with Community Futures and their staff there. And then the second part was access to other professional services based on what their business needed. And the vast majority of businesses really needed some help with digital marketing training. There's just so many options out there and so much unknown, and it's changing all the time. So we did, through the voucher program, one-off fund some extra help for some businesses, but because there was such a need, we did develop a full digital marketing bootcamp with 910 to really give that robust hands-on program. It's morphed over the course of the months, and now it's continuing on. It's opened up. We have a partnership with the Alberta Chambers of Commerce now, so all of the businesses across Alberta have access to this really high quality training. So I would encourage you to check into it for your business. It qualifies for the Canada Alberta Job Grant. And also if your business is located in the city of Grande Prairie, they also have a marketing grant and a training grant that could be eligible for this project. So it's a very affordable way to skill up either yourself or your employees, and it's a really great program. Of course, we have our beautiful digital sign outside of our office. We have adjusted our rates. It is member only access, but if you are interested, it's one of the busiest intersections in town. So just reach out to Leah and she'll be happy to share more information about that. As probably everybody knows by now, we did decide in the fall to purchase the Get in the Loop franchise. And Get in the Loop aligns so perfectly with our chamber's mission to connect business and create opportunity, because Get in the Loop is a shop local platform that connects businesses with local people. And it's a mobile marketing strategy. It's not an e-commerce solution, but it puts your business in front of an audience that's opted in. So we have over 2,300 local downloads on the app. We currently have 40 partners on the app. And so with it being a mobile marketing, any business that's on there, they're in front of people who are specifically looking to support a local business. You're not getting interrupted with an ad when you're trying to, look at your grandchild or your son's baseball team or whatever. You're specifically going to see what you can discover and see what cool things are out there. So we have a few exciting partnerships in the background, so stay tuned for more information there. And if you haven't downloaded Get in the Loop, please go download it. It's an excellent resource, like I said, for local business. And if you are a business who's interested in mobile marketing, we can accommodate a wide variety of types of businesses. So reach out to the office and we'd love to share more information about it. And Chamber Market, this is today, everyone heard about it for the first time, and we are very excited to be able to partner with the Alberta Chambers of Commerce to bring this to our area. It is going to be the most robust e-commerce solution that is available. And it's not exclusively for retail businesses, which is great. We have a lot of other businesses that don't have tangible products to sell. So we will be rolling this out in June and July. We will be engaging with the Shop Local program that Ken had alluded to, and we'll hopefully have a few students to help us connect with businesses. And we're really trying to make it as easy as possible. Businesses have so much on their plate. They always have, but even more these days with the restrictions changing and lifting and all of the adjustments that they've had to do. So we really want to remove as many barriers as possible and make it as easy as possible. So if you are interested and keen on being one of the first ones, reach out to our office and we'll definitely get you set up. And more on the Shop Local funding, it's an incredible opportunity that we have access to from the federal government through the Alberta Chambers of Commerce. And we have a few project ideas already. If anybody has a project I think would be neat, the main objective of this funding is to increase public awareness of small and medium businesses, which is the core of our membership and the core of our community. So one of the ideas, in addition to the Chamber Market and Get in the Loop support that we're going to be doing, is a campaign to really raise awareness of the importance of supporting local. So yes, shopping local, but businesses hiring local businesses, the importance of franchises to our community. Franchises get a bad rap sometimes, but they're so important. They have local employees, they pay property taxes, they enhance the value of our community. Lots of times they also have local owners. in addition to the local employees. So there's just so many different elements to our community and the importance of supporting the community and keeping our dollars local. So that's one of the projects that we're going to be pursuing. But yeah, absolutely. If you have any ideas, reach out. We will be submitting our application by June 14th. So the sooner the better. If you do have any ideas, don't keep them to yourself, share them. Always love good ideas. And before I move on to the next thing, I just wanted to share a project that we're working on in partnership with the Salvation Army and with Swan City Rotary Club. It's called Dining with Dignity, and it's a modified version of 40 Hot Meals that Medicine Hat did. And what we're going to be doing is collecting sponsorships from the community, purchasing gift cards from restaurants, and donating the gift cards to the Salvation Army to include in their food hamper baskets. So restaurants, of course, have been one of the hardest hit sectors and have been on the craziest roller coaster ride out of many of the businesses. And so the purchase of the gift cards will be a direct cash injection to that industry. And with donating it to the food bank, there's so many families and couples and individuals in our community that access that service, and they don't necessarily have the ability to participate in that huge part of our society, which is dining out. That's just a part of what we do now in our culture. And you know, some of the people that are accessing the food bank, they maybe were used to that before, circumstances changed. And so we're really excited to kind of add that piece in there and give those individuals the opportunity to frequent the restaurant. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be launching that in a couple of weeks. We did receive some support from the city through their economic recovery grant this week that was announced. So thank you so much for that. And keep an eye out. We will be launching that in the coming weeks. Some more exciting a renewal for our Peace Region Petroleum Show. Of course, for those of you who don't know, this year was supposed to be our 14th biennial show, and we did make the decision last year to postpone it. So our next show is going to be in May of 2022. And the committee, we had decided we are going to rebrand. So we are rebranding to the Peace Region Energy Show. And that's going to help keep the show relevant and really encompass and invite in the alternate energy solutions that are very popular, they're up and coming. Lots of the traditional producers have a big hand in that as well, and that's just going to help give them a voice to tell their story and show how they're also part of the solution, and show off some of the technology that they have with their traditional energy as well. So we are working on rebrand as we speak, and we will be opening up to registrations early fall. So keep an eye out for that. We are definitely excited to give that big part of our community a little refresh there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tanya. So as we look forward to the days, weeks, months, and years ahead, we have a few things that are going on. We definitely are in that transition to reopening, and we want to focus on that economic recovery. There's also, reimagining what we look like out there. It's we desperately look forward to those in-person sessions, but we know the last 15 months has changed the way we do business, and there will most likely be a hybrid of virtual and in-person, and it's it just changed the way we do business. For everybody, ourselves included. So, but we do definitely look forward to that, the reopening and the months ahead. The Shop Local campaign that Tanya talked about earlier, taking advantage of that federal funding. So that's something that's coming out here soon. Really to bring that awareness to small business and hopefully increase the sales at the same time. So that'll be coming soon. Please watch for that and pay attention for that. We have the municipal elections, as Ken alluded to earlier, coming up this fall. So we'll be involved in in some way, shape, or form with that, and so much more. So please stay tuned. There's so much coming up ahead of us that we'll try our best to keep you informed. And if you have ideas and want to talk to us, please reach out. Thank you again for participating today. This is just one more way to keep you keep us all involved, keep us informed. And more of these are scheduled for the month, which Tom is going to be talking about earlier. So once again, thank you for participating today. Thank you for the support of the Chamber. And we look forward to seeing you in person here someday real soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry and Tanya. And we do still have a little bit of time for questions for any of our presenters. So you can either type it quickly in the chat box or just raise your virtual hand or just give us a wave and we'll get you to unmute. And if you have a specific question for anyone before we wrap things up today. Oh, we have a virtual hand up from Ken Cobley. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. It's not maybe to get the creative juices going amongst the folks for questions, but I got to say that the participation by the Grande Prairie Chamber on a weekly basis with the Alberta Chambers in our network call is just astounding. I think Tanya was the only one one of very few other than myself that made it to each and every weekly call the last 62. And she's got a better record than me because yesterday I had to miss the call because I had an adverse reaction to my second shot. And the communication, the discussion about communicating with members. We started off the COVID thing back about 62 weeks ago, with daily blasts, and they're now weekly. And that just shows you the power of network communication. I'll just toss one other thing out there. Again, thanks to the Grande Prairie team. You've always been there when we've needed help, when we've needed advice, when we've needed support. And also, thank you to your volunteers. Because we know that they've been very giving of their time during this past 62 weeks and doing double duty, not only with the Chamber, but also with their own businesses. And further to that, Shauna Miller is now our past chair as of this past week. Normally, it's a 6-year commitment, but because of COVID, we tapped all of our executive committee to remain around for another year. So her commitment, when she's done her past chair year, is going to actually add up to 7 years. So that's a huge commitment on her part, and we thank her for that.
Right on. Thanks, Ken. We definitely enjoyed those weekly meetings, and we look forward to meeting in person again one of these days, sooner than later. So once again, any questions from the assembled masses? I'll do my Ken Cobley impression. Going once. Going twice. Okay, very quiet room today, but that's okay. There was a lot of information to digest, and you can always reach out to us at the office. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions for us, we always love hearing from you. So thanks again to Ken and Larry and Tanya for a great launch to our Community Pulse series. And thank you to everyone who participated. And thanks to all of our partners, of course, our presenting partners, the City of Grande Prairie, the County of Grande Prairie, and Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network, and our supporting partners, Chambers Plan, through local broker Hub International, Community Futures Grande Prairie and Region, and Get in a Loop Grande Prairie in the Municipal District of Greenview. Our next session in this series is June 9th at 3 o'clock. Please note the time with the City of Grande Prairie Economic Development Department. Then on June 16th, we are with the Grande Prairie Regional College. That'll be back to the 10 a.m. start. June 23rd with the MD of Greenview, and then June 30th with the County of Grande Prairie Economic Development Department. And then we'll resume with a number of different sectors and industries in September. We do have a chamber member orientation set for next week, June 10th from 2:30 to 4 p.m. And registration is available on our website for that. And another chamber coffee break next Friday as well, June 11th. And it's always a fun time with Cindy and her creative discussion tips. So we have a lot of fun with that. So it's just a kind of a fun way to end a week every couple of weeks. So
I've never been invited to one of those.
you don't need to be invited, but you're welcome to join us every second Friday.
If you need dad jokes, come to coffee break.
Yeah, even more from me. So anyway, everyone, have a great rest of your day and week, and enjoy the sunshine, and we will talk again soon. Bye, everyone.